Welcome back, everyone, to the North American Challengers League. Cincinnati Fear, way to swing for it. They continue with the test and get another dub against 100 Thieves Challengers.
They're good, man. They are good. This team, they are absolutely cracked. Just like Cubby was calling out, their macro calls, the decision making, they are constantly working as a team. You'll love to see it.
You absolutely do. Go ahead, Cubby.
This team's probably the easiest team for me to talk about in the league because the expectations we had for this team versus how they're actually doing and performing, it's so different and so in their favor. Like, we just cannot help but continue to celebrate so many impressive things that they're doing on the Rift. I mean, they just destroyed 100 Thieves Challengers. Like, this team, again, they are a legit top-of-the-table team, one that everyone has to respect and look out for, and they continue to earn that respect with these performances.
A lot of respect earned and a lot of numbers put up by Cincinnati Fear, and I want to dive into those numbers, not just for Fear, but 100 Thieves Challengers as well, as our halftime segment is going to be about stats. It's called Over Under. Rules are simple. You're going to flip a coin to figure out who goes first. You say a player. Once that player is taken,
go first. I'm
I will
not a
give
coward.
you a stat.
Hold on,
I'll give you a stat.
Let me adjust my monitors here to make sure that I'm not cheating.
Yeah, actually, hold on. I got to do the same. Give me a second.
I will give you a stat, and you will have to tell me if that stat is over or under the true value.
Okay, hold on.
I'm not afraid of going first. You don't need to flip a coin.
You know what? I'll let Cubby decide who goes first. He won the last one.
Yeah, I'll go first.
All right, Cubby, pick a player.
Went first last time. I get to pick a player? You're hosting. I didn't.
No, you get to pick a player. All 10 of them are categories. Go ahead and pick one.
You know what? Give me Perry.
Ooh. Perry. Okay. Perry. The stat is he averages 380 gold per minute. Is this over or under the actual value?
I actually don't know GPM stats that well. For a jungler that seems, and a team that's winning, that actually seems pretty close to where I expect Perry to be. I'm going to go, that's a little... I'm going to go under.
Ooh. It is over. He's at 354. Perry might be one of our most well-rounded junglers. He's always active on the map, and I personally just like this stat because he's got a great balance of both trying to affect his lanes and still keeping his fire.
I was way out. No one has 380 GPM as a jungler. I'm dumb. I was like, that's a big number. I only look at that number, though, for carries, because that's really the only where it matters.
All right, that's one missed point for Cubby. Alex, pick a player.
Let's go with Yukino. Keep it in junglers.
On average, Yukino is 15% of his team's damage share. Is that over or under the actual value?
God, that's a close one. Because I can't remember if it's 14.7 or 15.7. I think that's where he's at. It's neither. Shut up, Cubby. You're cheating.
Studying.
Yeah, that's cheating. I didn't even use that time that you were answering. I could have done
Alex,
the same
I need an answer, man.
I'm gonna go with under.
Under is wrong. It is over. He has a damage share of 14.2, which is considerably on the low side for a lot of junglers. I know he has a lot of good skirmish play. 14.2. He has a lot of good skirmish play, a lot of good early setup, and that makes 100 Thieves lanes, once they get going, kind of operate by themselves, right?
Where are you pulling these stats from?
GOL.
Oh, because I got 17.1.
You got 17.1%?
Yeah, damage percentage.
I might have picked it for the week only.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. If you picked it for the week, then that's harder.
Okay. This is... Wait. We're talking about the overall season, by the way. I just want to make that clear.
Yeah. Okay. I'm looking at season stats, yeah.
All right.
So I get a point, then.
Do you get a point?
On my screen, he gets a point.
Gets a point. Okay. I'm going to double check it and make sure I look at the right number. Every time with numbers...
thank you so much, Cubby.
All right, you're amazing. Thank you for letting me study. So now I'm going to be even more embarrassed when I miss the next one.
I still got a 14.2 here. Damage percentage?
Yeah.
Hold on.
14.2 Yukino.
Let me look at this.
Oh, it was Yukino. I was looking at Perry.
Oh,
Thank you. Okay. Making me sweat and worry about everything. Making me think I lost my mind again.
Since Cubby messed up, can he get a negative point?
No, Alex. You're not going to sabotage him like that.
I wasn't a good enough listener for you, and for that, I apologize.
All right, Cubby.
But also for that, give me Unforgiven.
Unforgiven.
This got to be a big number up there.
He's one of 4 marksmen to get a pentakill this season. Is that over or under the actual value?
I think that's over because I think only 3 marksmen have a penna, or there's only been like 2 or 3 pennas in the league.
Ding, ding, ding. That is a point going over to Cubby. It was a Zeri moment, baby. That was words said by you, Cubby, when he did get that pentakill. The two others, Meech and Wixie.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know who the other two were. That's why when you said over under 4, I'm like, I think it's 3. I'm with Cubby on this one.
I will say, you know, obviously LCK has a special place in my heart. The certified Zeri moment definitely also still has a special place in my heart. That one just came so early in the game. It was really, truly, honestly, one of the most disgusting pentakills I've ever seen. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
So we got our first point for Cubby. Alex, falling behind, man. What player are you picking?
I've only answered 1. He's answered 2. Give me Faisal. Give me Faisal.
Faisal. Averages 3.6 kills per game. Is it over or under, Alex?
0.6 kills a game. That's under.
Alex gets a point. You are right. He does average.
That's high. That's high for top laners. I thought that would be.
No. I'm like, he actually has a lot for top laners.
Yeah, he averages the most kills out of any top laner at 3.8. Even more impressive, his best KDA game was against Cloud9 Challengers, where he racked a 7-0-8 scoreline as Gragas.
The AP dragging into the Jax is pretty good, or whatever he put it into was pretty good. All right, like to see that.
All right, Cubby.
Okay, give me Manui. I'm gonna stick to my marksman here.
Cubby,
in
I just
week
want to see
6,
if you lose. I haven't even studied, so.
Got specific on this one. Week 6 had an average KDA of 6.
Damn. I'm gonna go under.
Oh. Under?
Yeah, he played good. They split against C9, but they 3-1'd. And
yeah, they did.
He had big numbers in a couple of those other games.
I think even in the loss, he had pretty big numbers.
I got to double check this because I accidentally deleted it as we were talking.
Oh, no.
Okay. That number is under. You are correct. The actual number is 6.5. This is a player
than I thought.
I've been watching a lot more closely since week 5 because we had that interview with Perry where he was like, man, Minui and Trevor are being slept on when it comes to the bottom lane. I think they perform better than people expect of them. In the last 2 weeks, I mean, Minui's been doing well.
I mean, I noticed it from like early in the split. It just, like, it was like week 1 or week 2. I was like, hey, look, wow, like Minui's like not losing lane with Trevor. Like that's something I didn't expect. And then I was like looking at the second round robin and like, oh, they got to face Dignitas, C9's bot lane, they face 100 Thieves bot lane. Like, okay, we could see that start to change. Like if it gets exploited, it's yet to be exploited. They're playing good league. It's been really good to see and definitely a major improvement out of Minui. And Trevor continues to prove himself. I know a lot of orgs sleep on him given his age, being a much older player, but this is a format that allows for him to, play and compete at the highest level, and he's been great.
I believe Cubby was running the clock right here to try and doom Alex. But Alex, you got a minute left to choose your final category. You're going to pick Pretty?
Pretty.
Has played 5 games of Talia this split, including this game.
Under.
Under is correct. You're going to tie it up. It's 6 games in total. It was 5.
Lightning round.
It was 5 right before, but because of this game, it is going to be 6. I bring the stat up because Talia last split, that was something we were really hyped up on. A lot of the play that he brought, he basically dragged Immortals across the finish line for some of those dubs. But spectacular on that champ.
Give me Destiny.
Destiny? Oh, you want to steal it fast.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to go back to back. Okay. Has played 6 different champions this split.
That would be under. He's played more.
Under. Point going over to Cubby. Yes, he has played 7. Just 1 more than that. Has been pretty hard locked on Lulu. Magical, quick, pick one. Shochi. Highest DPM game was 12-15 DPM on Kassadin. Is it over or under?
Under.
You are wrong. Cubby wins, and now Champ Select is ready. So take us to game number 2 of 100 Thieves Challengers versus Cincinnati Fear.
Ah, man, I was just gut instinct. I'm like, gotta go fast, like Sonic. But it wasn't meant to be. Congratulations, Cubby, you won that one.
Hold the golf claps. I know. Thank you so much.
I'm not clapping for you.
Yeah, that's why I said golf claps. Anyway,
Eric's clapping for you, but I'm not going to. As your competition, I'll give you a friendly handshake,
That's how we do it, hat off. Just, shake hands, say nice.
Exactly. That's like no claps, just handshake, yeah.
Oh, I respect that. Speaking of handshakes, no side swap coming in
or champions banned
of our team. And yeah, we don't. I think what we're gonna see be different is the first pick Annie not existing. Personally,
probably like looking at the ban so far, the Varus is a little bit different.
Hang on, we have not seen any Caitlyn from Unforgiven, but that Varus ban changing. Maybe they want to open with Xayah. That is something we have seen 100 Thieves do. So with Ashe off the board, maybe that's the swap we're looking for. Opening here with Xayah or Rakan.
It is the Xayah. I was kind of looking at Sejuani as maybe something else that wasn't banned this time around that had been banned previously. But as you called out rightfully, the Xayah takeaway from Manui, not having the Varus that he's been playing a lot as well, nor the Seraphine. I'm kind of looking at what else he's played during the split. Jhin is something that he has played and has done really well on, but I just don't know how well it's going to do into a matchup like Xayah Rakan if that's taken off the table.
Well, they have the option to deny Rakan here if they so choose, but also they could take a different bot lane. We have seen Manui. I don't think he's going to opt to play the Zeri Xayah matchup. That's one that Unforgiven very familiar with each side, but that's a little bit different as Manui. This is one of the champions that Manui was better on when he first started out in his career. It will be the Kai'Sa, so already showing dive into Xayah. This is a little bit dangerous, diving into Xayah, but still this is a matchup that most of our players are very comfortable with, and they feel like they can execute Xayah with the Kai'Sa, of course, that ult, mobility, getting around the feathers, pretty good.
Now we see the answer of that Rakan, as expected, to get a very powerful duo in this bot lane, plus gives Destiny a bit more engaged that he kind of lacked last time with the Annie. He tried to go for some of those catch-outs, just wasn't able to get them to land. But this is where I kind of look at what's available, what Trevor likes to play. Leona is the first thing that kind of pops out to me for Trevor in this bot lane. Sejuani completely skipped over by Yukino. This is why I'm going back. I'm looking at Trevor, Leona, Nautilus. These are two champions that he likes to play that pair up pretty well with Kai'Sa.
I think it's going to be not coming out. It's the most common answer that we've seen in Rakan. The one that I think Zeyzal specifically plays really well is Lost Zeyzal, still our strongest bot lane that we have in Challengers. So I think that Trevor might have learned a thing or two from C9 in that series, and we did see this matchup there. I will say the Vi, I thought it was going to be Sejuani, given that Sejuani is a little bit higher in terms of power, but Vi has a good matchup in the Wukong. You can follow the clone with Vi ult and actually get through one of the ults from Wukong in terms of the CC of it if you do buffer with your CC and assist. So I like to see that, and I also like to see Fear denying that combo with Talia. I feel like that's warranted this game.
It's also good at making sure that you can chase down Kai'Sa no matter where she goes. So looking at the second part of the bans, you call that Talia against Pretty Sion. Expected. The beefy front line that it provided for Fear last time was just insurmountable for Sniper, because after a certain point, Renekton just doesn't do anything.
And I'm curious because I think Fear, they're setting up for a blind mid laner. Acel is on the board, and that is worth mentioning. Actually,
Orianna still there.
Jack's being taken off the board. That's curious. Do we maybe see if Faisal actually wants to blind a top laner here and give Shochi counter?
It could be. I'm still leaning towards that Orianna, because you don't want Pretty to play that either. With Vi, with Rakan, still provides a lot. So that's why 100C is saying, yeah, you know what? We don't even want to see that on the field at all. We know that you're probably going to pick that if it's left open. So this is where we have to get the conversation around maybe that Aurelion Sol. But blind Aurelion Sol, I've heard a lot of people say that it's very situational with how he is now.
You are at a lot of dive threat if you blind Aurelion Sol with both Rakan and Vi. I will say Aurelion Sol is a real option here for Pretty. I know it is a blind, but it would likely lead to a Syndra response. I don't love Syndra into the setup, like going up against a Vi. So that is an option. As speaking of options, we have whatever matchup Sniper wants into the Renekton. Likely going to be the Ornn. So a little bit more peel for the side of the Xayah, and whatever Pretty wants to pull out here, as Pretty is going to be blinding a champion. I will say Pretty, he's been really leaning towards that Syndra. It is his most played. It is on the board. And it is one way that you can deal with Kai'Sa when she does jump in. If not, then I talked about the Aurelion Sol. So it's time. It was a good setup for it, and we'll see what kind of response Shochi has. I think the way that you beat this pick is you have to attack it and really set it behind.
And they have competition so far to do so from Fear. With the Wukong, also having Nautilus, things that can easily dive into this back line.
Or is it different?
Well, and this is where I'm wondering if they want to grab Vigar. Oh, man! Yes, let's go. Vigar just got buffed too.
Vigar being picked up. Oh my, this is very different coming out of Fear. Okay, let's think about Vigar. Where's Vigar good here?
Everywhere.
Rakan, it's really tough against Rakan. Ornn has a way to kind of deal with the cage. You can trap Aurelion Sol in the cage, but you don't have the pressure to kill Sol early. You do have a lot of range, so you should get out of the lane for free, and if Vigar gets going, he can be a big problem, but with Vigar, it's all about the cage. How many champs interact with the cage? I mean, Pretty's got to be careful when he goes in. Like, it is a telegraphed ability, the W of Aurelion Sol, so you can prep cage for that and force him to cancel early and kite out, but this is a very creative counter that we have to a new pick that's hitting the Rift and A-Sol, so really interested to see how this goes. I can kind of theorize the matchup, but I haven't seen it before, so it should be fun.
As a Vigar aficionado, I feel like this is my territory. It actually is great into all the champions on 100th C except Vi. Vi is the only problem you're going to have to deal with because she can just get through everything. Even though you have that ability as Ornn to kind of use your charge, you'll still be stunned at the end of it because how long the stun is. But once you put that down, you're putting it down as a defensive tool. Sure, you can use it as picks occasionally, but it's much more of how you make sure once you see Rakan pop quickness, you're putting that on your backline. Because if he ever dives in, he no longer has an escape. He can't just dance around the battlefield. And same for Xayah. Xayah no longer has that safety net of Featherstorm once you're locked into the pit, because even if you jump up, if you go into the wall, you're going to be stunned regardless.
Yeah, that is a good point. So
look, this is the one time I can make really good color points because I actually do really like to play Vigar.
I'm also a Vigar fan. He's a fun little devil to play in the mid lane.
So
when you are
a quick anecdote before we get into like the games and stuff.
Okay.
Like one of my biggest highlight moments was me playing Vigar with Captain Flowers and like I think it was Kangas and a couple other people. I was playing mid lane Vigar and Flowers was trying to invade, but then the enemy mid laner rotated around even though I was calling it out. He's like, yo, can you help me? And so I just flashed over the Raptor pit, put down the baby cage, got double stunned, and we double killed them to get the enemy jungler to quit. Yeah.
Well, I hope we don't have anyone rage quitting this game, personally.
But there was that play. Ooh, I like this start, though, from Destiny and Unforgiven. A lot of damage onto Manui and Trevor. The powerful thing about Kai'Sa Nautilus is that level 2, and trying to deny that and get yourself in that position initially does deny some of that initial power you have to fear.
Yeah, also, if Kai'Sa's just allowed to hit wave and match with Xayah, she does get pushed, given the Qs, so actually starting that engage first did give 100 Thieves control over the wave and should give them push in this matchup. So we'll play it from Destiny as able to find the grand entrance and good start to the lane for Unforgiven. As honestly at this point, denying that Xayah away from Manui, that is a big deal as Manui's Xayah, it's now 3-1 after the last game. Oh, the buffer missed.
You mean Kai'Sa, right?
No, I meant the Xayah from
I know, but you
Manui.
were saying Manui, you were saying Manui Xayah.
No, yeah, I get to deny. For like, not only is Unforgiven good at the pick, but I mean, Manui's been really good at it.
Okay, so. I was confused because I'm like, he's playing Kai'Sa, bro. The Xayah's on the other side.
No, I mean, the strat was to take Xayah. I think part of that is the strength of Xayah, but also part of that's the strength of Fear playing with the Xayah Rakan and how good Manui's been in the pick.
Yeah, I think it's been one of his best champions right behind that Seraphine. I definitely agree with you on that one. But looking at how the rest of the map is going so far, Faisal on this Renekton up against Sniper's Ornn. Kind of a turn of fates for these top laners, where it's now more of that early game pressure, no longer just the weak side top laner for Fear, while Sniper, he's put on that weak side. He's like, all right, I'm just going to do my best to farm up and not die.
Should be A-okay here for Sniper, as again, I expect all of our challengers top laners to be able to play out this matchup all right. Ornn versus Renekton, a very common one, as Ornn is the neutralizer. At the moment, though, we are going to have to look at the bot Crab, as the bot lane 400 Thieves challengers, they have priority. Perry's in the river, but Yukino is also making his way bot. We could see a skirmish.
All right, a little bit of a fight. Perry seems like he's got the upper hand initially, even with a level discrepancy. He's fighting this one well. Like you said, the Conqueror that he's utilizing, flashing over the wall for first blood, even though you have the baby cage put down on a Pretty. They still can't pick up the kill onto Perry. They flashed for it, so they will finally get it.
I will say the double buff's going over to Aurelion Sol. Okay, a little bit aggressive there from Perry, but he was down a level, but he had the Conqueror, he had the red buff. He was just going ham on the Yukino there and able to at least force him out of the bot river.
Yeah, absolutely mad stuff here from Perry. Just watching the skirmish, like you said, having that Conqueror that's really helping him out. But even after this, it did seem like I thought for sure Perry was going to survive just because how much space he put himself with compared to that of Pretty. But unfortunately, it was just a nice flash.
Now, flash into the Flame and Breath. It's going to be enough here. On the bright side for 100 Thieves, this bot lane's in a really tough state right now for Manui and Trevor. You can see Manui is out of pots. That wave is shoving away from them. Zyrakan does win at this point, so well played to the bot lane of 100 Thieves Challengers to make sure they get the crash and now the bounce back. Things are good for them. Whereas Perry, he actually skipped over a couple camps on the top side. He's looking for Yukino. Will not find him, but will figure out for his team that Yukino is going to be heading to the bot side of the map as Manui actually takes a reset where the wave state's not in his favor, given how that lane's going out. So well played again from the bot lane of 100 Thieves Challengers.
Utilizing this pick, making sure that Manui and Trevor not going to have quite the easy time, nor are they going to even be even when it comes to the fight around the dragon that could have happened. But since it was the recall, the resets for Fear's bot lane, they'll forfeit over the first dragon of the game to 100 Thieves.
Right. Play from 100 Thieves Challengers is this early game off to a better start. I think this draft, I mean, it gives them some strength, at least with the Zyrakan. And again, the way that Unforgiven played this out, very good. He's already up 17 creeps and already has a Noon Quiver to his name, so item advantage in favor of Unforgiven and the Thieves.
But it's the exact opposite story if we look at the top side of the map.
Yeah.
Sniper. I mean, it's expected early game. Ornn matchup into Renekton. Even if Ornn does have good base damage, Renekton's just that much better at lane phase and bullying around his competition. As you can see, just diving in there, trying to trade some damage.
Also was able to deny the cannon minion as, we have a reposition on the queue from Pretty. Getting fancy here in the mid lane.
Probably also just bored of just pushing Q. Just felt like, yeah, you know what? What am I supposed to do here in this matchup? I'm against the Vigar. I want to scale. He wants to scale. There's not enough minions. He's not even here to fight me. All right, so I'll just do something fancy for now.
I mean, they're both going Rod and Tier, so I mean, it truly is just like...
Okay, can I just say, I do like that call out by Matt Socials, the Fear social manager.
I mean, to kind of bold to tweet it after game 1 and not game 2, who knows?
No, what do you mean? That's even better.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's the play that everyone should go for. Trash talk beforehand and then be like, all right, they got us afterwards. Like, trash talk after you win is kind of like just rubbing salt on the wound.
I agree. You should always, if you're going to trash talk, say GG after for sure.
Yeah, it's GG afterwards, but beforehand be like, yo, we're the better players. We're going to crush them. That's the way to go.
You can see Manui and Trevor trying really hard to get this wave in, which they will do successfully, so that they're going to be in a little bit better state for them. Well played for the bot lane of Fear. Still at a little bit of a disadvantage, but 400 Thieves, we are a couple seconds away from that Herald spawning. Curious to see how they play this one out as they do have bot lane priority, and they will need the bot lane to win this out.
No, this is just going to be one nicely done by Unforgiven and Destiny.
Here, heal came in a little bit late from Manui. He was trying to wait out the ignite, but instead...
I don't think it would have mattered.
Yeah, Trevor just goes down. Again, no Aftershock on this Nautilus. He is a piece of paper, and Unforgiven just shredded him with the feathers.
It was a nice call from 100 Thieves. They saw the play. They realized that it's only level 5 for both of them, and now they can call down Yukino. He's level 6. This is an easy dive. Just a cease and desist up into the grand entrance so they can get the auto attack. Even if you get the Killer Instinct ult, Unforgiven should be able to chase that one down, gets the kill before even having to worry about Trevor. Trevor now in a horrible position, having to flash away just to survive.
Oh boy, all right. Well, the bot lane of 100 Thieves, they're really taking it the bot lane of Fear this time around. There was no Xayah pick for Manui. Instead, Unforgiven takes it, and he is just destroying this laning phase by Magical.
Oh, Trevor, what are you doing here? You don't belong here. Even to get the root onto Destiny, Destiny was able to use the Battle Dance away so they could reset the aggro and get a clean dive yet again.
Oh my goodness. It keeps on piling on here as Trevor goes down again. That wave is denied from the Nautilus. Guys will be able to pick up a lot, but that's a huge lead for Unforgiven, and he does not drop these Mad Magical. even in the last game for 100 Thieves when their team did nothing, Unforgiven, he was a hell of a farmer. I think he had 330 CS at like the 27-minute mark.
Yep.
Yeah, well, he's going to take off to the moon here, as he has everything he wants at his disposal to make sure this game is his and goes the way of the Thieves.
I'm glad you couldn't call that out last time. Even though he was farming up, didn't really have the most impact in the game. Sure, he looked good with the stats, but it was a little too late before he started becoming relevant to join the fights. Now, this game is completely turned. They've made sure that Unforgiven Destiny, playing aggressively into the spot lane from moment one, are the ones firmly in control of the game.
I mean, Unforgiven's so good. And it's worth noting, this is his 5th play as Xayah. His Xayah is 4-0 this split in Challengers. It's been pretty filthy.
Are you trying to tell me the all-pro LEC ADC is good at the game?
Yeah, I'm trying to say he's really good.
He's really good.
He's like, I know that yesterday Dom was like asking like how good Unforgiven was for NACL watchers. Yeah, he's really good.
Very good.
He's been doing really well. I know he was kind of asking that, maybe in the spirits of, thinking about replacements for 100 Thieves. That's not my place to judge. Where my place is to judge how good our NACL players are. Yeah, Unforgiven might be the best of them. He's crazy, man. He's done some wild stuff this split, and he is pounding this game right now.
Arguably the best ADC that we have in the league. The best bot lane. I think it's a different.
He is inarguably the best AD we have in the league, and inarguably not the best bot lane we have in the league as well. But that's okay. You can be those things. Unforgiven has been wild as, okay, hold on.
I like this play from Fear. That was a lot of plates they got off of Sniper, and they were even able to give a lot of that over to Manui because they sent Vice into the bot lane, but now he's just getting dove by everybody and has no escape because how fed this bot lane is.
Yep, that's the Ignite being dropped from Destiny, so the healing of Renekton taken away. He pops. Now, again, I think that play is necessary for Fear. This is the right play because this bot lane was not going their way. But now the fact that Faisal was set behind. Faisal was destroying Ornn in this matchup, by the way. Faisal was up like 100 to 56 at one point. That's not how the matchup should be going. Ornn should be at least within around 20. So props to Faisal for playing this out really well. But still, he goes down. So the bot lane pressure for 100 Thieves still bleeding elsewhere as Fear were forced to swap out of the lane matchup, and Faisal was also forced to swap out. He goes down, and now Ornn is caught up.
Did you see how much gold Unforgiven has?
Yeah.
Yes, I think it's almost 1,000 over the next closest.
No, it's 1,500.
No. It's 1,000 because Perry.
Okay, well, I was going over the lane matchup, but yes, you'd be correct there.
I'm saying just 1,000 gold lead over every other member in this game.
Yeah. He'd be kind of crazy, man, this game, as we'll see if Unforgiven. I mean, it's going to be Navori Quick Blades. He's going to be auto-attacking. I mean, it's so hard. All Yukino needs to do is just hover the Xayah, and this game's over. You can even see Sniper. He's dropping that bot wave. He doesn't want to extend that far on the map, so he's going to go support the Xayah, too. And we'll see if they can find a pick onto Perry, as Perry... Yeah, he's going to find some unfriendly territory. Shochi here to hover.
Well, see, this is actually where I kind of want to... You say it's a very easy game, 400 Thieves.
It is.
But we haven't really seen Shochi or Pretty be impactful so far. They haven't really been a part of anything. Trevor, he has paper, though. That's the bigger problem, is that he's just going to get melted down, so they can't even look for the fight afterwards. So, Fallen Star, then Connect, will scare away. Unfortunately, with Trevor getting caught out like that, Shochi and Perry have to fall.
That Magical, it is an easy game for 100 Thieves. I know that we haven't seen some of the members of Fear do anything yet, but part of that is because of how this game...
You doubt the Vigar, man. Never doubt the Vigar.
No,
that's going to be the thing that you have to worry about. Look at the damage they got right into the backline. They got the kill onto Perry. They've even got the knockup onto Shochi. Wait, that was a canceled TP. Sniper made sure Faisal couldn't join.
I don't think it would have mattered as Unforgiven was already out of there, and we see 100 Thieves. I mean, all they need to do is just play around the Xayah, right? You can see Yukino. He is within 2,000 units of Unforgiven at all times and out. Okay, he's not going to go that deep as he knows that the Cage, one of the most powerful single abilities in League of Legends. Yeah, he's not going to commit past that, but still. I mean, this game for 100 Thieves, again, like, Unforgiven's so far ahead. All you have to do is just clear towards him. That's the game for 100 Thieves. And I don't think there's anything that Fear can throw at Unforgiven that beats him.
I'm calling my shots, Vigar, man.
It's literally only Vigar.
Never doubt the Vigar is what I'm saying.
Well, I'm going to doubt going full dive into Xayah when Xayah was B1.
Oh yeah, I mean, I do agree with that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying Veigar. Veigar's not a dive champion.
This is where I'd like to spread my Ezreal propaganda. All right.
Okay, spread it.
No, it's
you just said this is where I want to spread my Ezreal. You know what? Screw it.
As Karma in the Xayah Rakan, it's playable. You scale. You actually have poke, and you don't overcommit to this champ. Oh boy.
Looking for the play out of Manui. Manui. If Trevor is paper, so is Manui, because they can chase this one down. They do force him back underneath the turret. Had to force the heal out of him. If it wasn't for Killer Instinct, he would have died.
Let's play around Xayah. It's chill. That's Rift. Who's getting gold on the side lane? It's Renekton. We can live with that. It's a Sniper. Dropping waves for the good of the team, picking up this Rift Herald, and it should be a good setup here as Fear. They're going to reset for this third dragon. We do have the ports on the map, which means we have a Hextech Soul. And now it's just all about Fear trying to take control over the bot side of the map while we just had 100 Thieves make a play on the top side. Because this dragon, they really needed to go their way, because time right now is not their friend.
No, this is definitely getting difficult for Fear. I just like to shill my Veigar propaganda because I am a Veigar enthusiast. But looking at how this game is right now, you have a 2-0-3 Xayah. Kraken Slayer already completed, having the components working towards that Navari Quick Blades as you called out as well. Plus, you already have Black Cleaver from Yukino to add in that armor shred that Xayah would covet to have.
All right, all eyes on Unforgiven here. He's got no sums. He can go airborne. But if Unforgiven lives, this team fight's over for Fear. The game really is that simple for the side of 100 Thieves.
I mean, it's kind of similar to last game, except that just slightly different because you got a fed Unforgiven, though Destiny nearly taken down while Yukino got a lot of attention off of Trevor. They couldn't re-engage. Destiny's going to have to recall. And with the dragon having spawned, Fear turned their eyes towards the objective.
Yeah, oopsie there from Destiny as a nice sidestep from Faisal actually opens up some form of window for Fear in 100 Thieves. This game's so over. They aren't even going to fight it. They're just like, all right, we take mid, you take the dragon. We're not going to risk this at all. So it does delay this dragon stack, but still they get something positive out of it as Shelly gets crashed in mid. That's mid-outer, and they should escort it for a second crash here.
Okay, pulling back in, looking for a bit of damage on a Cypher, but nice knockup. And here's the Sky to send huge knockup when they got Perry having to flash away with Trevor low. They used the Orin Horn, but it wasn't enough to pick up the kills as Yukino barely dodges away from the baby cage.
Well played by Sniper. He bought a lot of space, and again, this turret falls in the next wave.
Yukino finds Perry, cancels the recalls of him, Faisal, and Manui. That just gives more opportunity for Unforgiven. Oh no, he has to cancel his own recall. He's afraid as Perry continues to chase Yukino. He's just not deterred by this. He's like, I think I can deal with you. Well, the wild, you can't deal with this. Faisal, Manui, you cannot deal with Unforgiven by yourselves, even if Perry's able to get the solo kill on the other side. It's on Shochi trying to get the damage on Unforgiven. They're trying to get back. They didn't get it. Triple kill from Unforgiven. They could make it a quadra kill. Oh, they just want the damage.
All right, Fear through the kitchen sink at Unforgiven, and guess what? Xayah, she went airborne. She ripped them to shreds, and Unforgiven, he continues to be the raid boss in this game, man. You cannot deal with Unforgiven. The first pick, Xayah, he's destroying the game, man. Magical.
He just completed the Navaris as well. Purchased a BF sword on top of it all.
Oh my goodness.
He's got a 700 gold bounty on his name. 5 kills to his name as well.
Oh my god, I didn't even see how this fight started because we had, our top laner, or junglers, I should say, fighting at the top side, but it's a flash from Faisal. Perry's not there, so they get shredded instantly, and then Shochi comes in. It's a little bit late. Unforgiven, the only mistake he makes there is he catches the W, but then he steps forward to dodge that one. Pretty badass, as he just rips through Wukong, gonna hit the wave. He's fine, he doesn't even want to risk it. Unforgiven, man. You're really good at this game. You are so good in this league. You are hard to talk about because the competition just cannot hold a candle to Unforgiven. There's only so many marksmen that can even compete with this guy in this league, and Unforgiven's proven that in Game 2 today.
He's a cut above the rest. And every time we've seen 100 Thieves win has been off the back of his carry performances. Even in games that have looked difficult and dire, he'll find a way to find these fights, whether it be finding that angle, positioning properly, or, in the case of this game, to just get ahead for moment one.
I mean, the way that he played out that lane was pretty ridiculous in the 3-wave crash. And then he throws it on Kaisa on the way back. Kaisa had the base without getting the wave in. It was just disaster from there for Fear. As Unforgiven, he's just that good. You make any mistakes against this guy, the degree of which he punishes is just ridiculous. And the fact that, I mean, he's in this league in the first place again, he's like legitimately hard to talk about because, you know, he should have beer. Like, he is an LCS caliber 80 carry. It almost feels insulting saying that, given what he's accomplished in the past.
This guy is so good. And now we get to see this fight as Perry. He's getting ripped apart by Unforgiven. That's how much damage they have.
Everyone
Trevor,
is.
too. Paper mache.
Yeah, you know, pretty. He's just been chilling on the Ace too. I mean, this is like the Ace dream game, you know? It's like the mid lane game where, like, you each just, like, you know, you have Rod plus...
See, you have very different ideas of what I find a dream game. I find a dream game not where I'm just coasting and my bot lane's fed. It's like I actually am the one making plays and looking like the hero.
Yeah, Matt Magical, they just increased LP gains. You don't want that? You don't want to coast to LP gains?
No.
Okay, hold on. Good night.
All right, but nice flash away from Manui as they re-engage onto Destiny, but you don't have any damage, Manui.
Sniper.
And here is the call of the Forge God. Then they easily can take down Manui. All the while, 3 members still on top of Baron, securing that, pulling back in Sniper, but he is a tanky boy at this point, and you have no damage.
Yeah, he's chilling. The rest of Hundred Thieves Challengers are chilling. And that's a bloodthirster for Unforgiven, so...
He's 3 items. Manui is 1 item and a half.
This next fight's going to be fun. Hey, give a refresh on red buff, too. Why not?
Might as well. Might as well.
I mean,
unless they can find a way to kill Unforgiven.
Give him blue buff, too. Why not?
Just give him everything.
Yeah,
this is his game.
Yep.
This is his game.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, well, this is going to be fun. How many kills does Unforgiven get in the next fight, That Magical?
He could get a penta, honestly, with how fed he is.
Okay, so you're going to guess 5?
Yeah.
I'm going to guess he walks home with a triple, at least. If not, I feel like his team failed him.
Coward mechanics here from Cubby. Not even going for the quad.
All right, fine. I'll go for the quad. Whatever.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Because right now, Unforgiven, escorting some of these minions into the base. Of course.
Call me a coward. What else am I supposed to do?
You bend. That's what happens.
All right. Well, this game, again, looking pretty over. We had Faisal get some important objective bounty. We traded that for an inhibitor. And 100 Thieves, again, ignoring the dragon while they have Baron up. I do like that as... Okay.
Okay, yeah, I mean...
Oh, yeah.
Shochi just doesn't have any damage right now. He doesn't even have his death cap completed. They're so far behind.
Here, where they really weren't able to get the game. Oh, okay, here we go.
Oh, nice engage into the back line. The skies descend on Fear. Everyone ripped apart. They run for the hills, but there is no hill to save them, as it's a clean ace for 100 Thieves.
That Magical Unforgiven got 0 kills in that fight.
I know, that's actually even funnier. That's even funnier.
God. Okay, it's GG's. What a game. Unforgiven, you're really damn good. The rest of the 100 Thieves, they had a scaling comp. They're into this game in Fear. You got a 1-1 split with the Thieves, man. I gotta say, each of our teams here, I think 100 Thieves, they played really well around Zyra Khans in Game 2. Game 1, same thing for Fear. Looking good, and that split still tied up in the standings moving into the last week of our regular season.
Making sure there's no distance gained by Fear. They will still be tied in 4th place. Even if there's 1 kill picked up at the very end, they have the lead. They have the minions. And maybe, though, they've got to be careful. Unforgiven! He's killed! They have to finish the minions! The base taken down by Pretty to make sure there is the split after all.
The raid boss was down. It's fine. You know, we just take 1 more on Unforgiven. But, oh, boy, Unforgiven, he was ridiculous that game. Absolutely nothing that Fear could do. B1 Xayah, you end up with Wukong plus Renekton. I don't like that strategy. And we saw Unforgiven punished to the maximum degree against Cincinnati Fear as he won his lane. He won the game. And the way that 100 Thieves played around it, you can, just shadow the raid boss. Pretty easy.
Yeah, pretty much. Just saying, all right, Xayah, Unforgiven. The world is your oyster. Destiny could be the one to engage. I'll be here to make sure you're alive.
Yeah, and then also we had the raid boss at the end of the game because we didn't even get to talk about Aurelion Sol and how He's a champ because, you know, we just kind of
Xayah took all the attention.
Well, mid was boring, but, you know, Asol does scale, and he was a raid boss by the end, so, you know, well played, pretty.
Yeah, I mean, it was well played. It was, though it's, like I said, the coasting. Because you had such a fed bot lane, it's also hard to argue with the logic of, hey, Xayah, the one who just was able to get 3 kills off of a dive because people kept resetting the bot lane by themselves, helps out a lot. But that's going to be a tied series, 1 apiece for Cincinnati Fear and 100 Thieves Challengers. We're going to toss a break, and when we come back, we'll bring back Deserex for our interview with the victorious 100 Thieves. We'll see you there.
Welcome back, everyone, to the North American Challengers League. I am joined by Pretty, the mid laner of 100 Thieves Challengers. Congratulations on the win, brother.
Thank you very much.
First things first, man. How are you liking the new Aurelion Sol?
I think this champ should not exist in League of Legends, honestly. It's just... I don't like this style of champs that are like, if you don't snowball early, you just lose the game. Because it's like, it's either gonna be too OP and you're gonna have kind of an easy time in early, or it's gonna be too bad and like you'll never be able to play early game. Like right now, it's more on the easier side. It's not necessarily that hard to survive. I mean, a team that plays against Aurelion Sol has to be really coordinated and snowball the game. And like, yeah, some matchups in mid can maybe be hard to 1v1, but yeah, you go Road of Ages, so lane's pretty much easy. 1v1 is just like jungle and support maybe like can make it hard for you, but I think she's in a really good spot right now, and like every team should be playing it basically.
Already some teams hopping on it. I know we had a Team Liquid over on the Challengers League stream popping on that one as well. So fun to see that champion. You know, we were talking a little bit before the match. I was hearing it was a rough week to get ready for. I heard we had a few sick players for 100 Thieves Challengers.
Yeah, it was. Unfortunately, Sniper couldn't even like scrim with us because yeah, like medical issues basically, and also Yukino, he was also sick the last days, and we also had like a bit less time because we played Monday, so our off day was on Tuesday, and we had even one less basically scrim day. So we ended up just playing 2 scrim days, and one of them our opponents cancelled as well, the second block, so it was not a lot of practice, and like it was a new patch with a lot of new champions, so like I played Aurelion Sol like once in scrims, and yeah, I just busted it out today. We went into this week knowing that we might have to first time some stuff. Like we really did it in the first game, and it didn't go well. So yeah, I mean the second game at least it went well.
I was going to ask about that, like draft strategy coming into where you're lacking practice. It's a new patch. Is that just go for comfort?
Not necessarily comfort, but like we trust each other that we will play a lot of picks in solo queue, and that we will make them work. Like we will communicate with each other what those picks need in draft, and a lot of times, you know, what we try to do is like, let's say I bring up Aurelion Sol, what do I think is good in jungle with it? I'm not gonna say here, but you know, and I'll bring it up to Yukino, and then we'll figure out like a comp to play. But the thing is, we cannot practice on it because we don't have games, so we kind of have to like trust that we will play it well. You know, we will like make a plan from beforehand, and then it's kind of like reball it, but it's not that hard as long as like you communicate well what you need. And a lot of times, you know, like when you play like a champ like Aurelion Sol, you know, like you can compare it to like you can say what I need this and that in team fights, and it's like as like a play style it matches a lot of other champs, so it's not that hard for someone who, you know, has like experience playing in different metas, if it makes sense. But yeah, you have to rely on communicating like what you need, and not like actually doing it, not actually practicing, but like just doing it first time, you know, in official.
And it's good to hear you have that, not just confidence, but communication on top of it, because we did talk midway through the split where you were telling me you felt nervous coming into the split and that you were ramping up in confidence each week playing with this roster. Well, Birdie, we're at the near end of the regular season. You're one match away from playoffs. How confident do you feel playing with these boys now?
Still very confident. We like are not that high in the standings as we would like. I think we're like 4th place. Like it was important to win for us against Fear today to have like a better spot for playoffs. So I'm a bit disappointed in that. But to be honest, we had like some visa issues at the start. Like even like in the first week we didn't have our bot lane up until like the day that we actually played the second game, like the second day of the first week basically. So it's a bit rough not having you know, scrim time, but yeah, the more we play and we try to like identify the issues and obviously like get better at it. Now in playoffs it will be a lot about like playing what we're best at and, you know, just being the best we can. Not necessarily that much about practice, but more about performance. And we have very experienced players, so like we know what it is to have playoffs. I mean, we have our rookies as well, but I think you can tell they don't choke under pressure. They don't really care about those games. They're ready for it, you know.
I noticed that you guys have quite a bit of talent over every single role. I mean, individual play from yourself, Pretty, has been one of my favorite things to watch. You used to rock people when they'd least expect it. Pun intended for Talia that was played back in last split. Love that throughout. Great to see the communication's been going well with a lot of these rookies as it is week 7. Now, you got one more match ahead of you. I did talk about that earlier. Team Liquid Challengers. Both your rosters, you know, there's big eyes onto this matchup, to say the least. So how are we feeling going into this matchup versus TLC and of course another player on the ASOL train, that is APA?
Yeah, the ASOL will be contested, you already know. We will see, we'll cook some stuff for the draft, and I feel confident. I think stream results against them have been mostly good. I think they're not playing as well as they were at the start of the split, if it makes sense. I think that we, like I told you, it was important for us to play like champs that we, played before, like what you saw in the second game. So like we will come up with like a good plan, and I think we're probably gonna get the 2-0. We need to play well and have a good day.
Like to hear the confidence, man. I love to hear it. You got any shout outs before we let you go?
Just shout outs to like everybody who's supporting us, like my family, everyone who just cares about 100 Thieves and wants us to do well, likes our games. I hope you guys enjoy the games. Today the second game was pretty fun. You can see how good Zaya Rakan is. My bot lane pretty much smurfed the game, so yeah, you don't have to do much.
It's always a blast to cover your games, Pretty. Thank you for joining us. Congratulations on your win, and best of luck in the rest of the regular season. We're going to take a moment to throw it over a break while we get ready for our final game of the day, and that is going to be Evil Geniuses Challengers versus Immortals Challengers.